see right here, I've been super busy. I cleared out that whole island right there. I cleared out all these trees right here. And I upgraded my gears. And I also created an ender chest system right here. I categorize everything that I need, but it's still in the works. I'm trying to fill everything up. Like all the stuff that I need all the time, I'm gonna put it in the shulker box and, you know, build a backpack basically. Because this way I can have everything that I need at my dispense, and it's much easier to build everything and organize everything. But yeah, I've been super busy. You can see right here, the shulker boxes have grown significantly. It took me so many hours to gather everything up, clear the space that I need. And originally I needed to clear out all of these trees surrounding the mountain, but I decided just to focus on this part right here because the next build is over the water right here. So today we're going to be focusing on the base, but not the castle itself. And no, it's not because I'm afraid of working on the castle, but it's because I got really inspired into building this next project right here. And it's going to be over the water right here. And the plan is eventually to connect this building right here with a bridge all the way right there. But yeah, enough yapping from me. Let's start building. Alright, we're done with the island here. It's just a bunch of rocks the same way that we did this part of the building right here. I don't know if you can see it right here, but you can see over on this side, I created a lot of rocks. I'm trying to simulate the same thing on this one right here. But again, just like the lighthouse that I did, since it's touching the water, you can see the bottom part is a bit darker. And as it gets to the top, it gets a bit lighter, and there's a bunch of podzol that is supposed to look like muds, and I think everything looks pretty cool so far. And if we see it from a distance, you can see the scale of the whole building right here is pretty big. So the whole island here is just gonna be one huge tower. And I know that what I've been doing is kind of on the bigger scale of things. Like, I haven't built anything on this ground yet. I plan to build like villages down here eventually, but for now I'm really interested in building bigger scales. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, I plan on building bigger scales for now, so I want it to be grand. So this building right here is gonna house the portal to my base, which is kind of not ideal because it's pretty far from where my base is at. So it's gonna be like a pretty long walk all the way there. But what's gonna be super cool is that you'll be able to see the whole castle from a distance, so you can take it all in, which is something that I'm trying to do with this base this season. That way everything looks good and picturesque from a distance. That's the goal of this whole project basically. So I want to explain to you guys the color palette of this build. And it's a bit different from that building right there, where it goes from darker to lighter areas. While we have some of that in this other build right here, it won't focus so much on using gradients all the way to the top. Some areas at the bottom, there's going to be lighter parts and darker parts depending on the position of it in comparison to the sun. I know everything's a bit complicated right now, but I think it would make sense once I show you what I mean later. But let's just start building this thing, and I'll explain more about it and what my thought process behind it once we've built the first layer of it. that. That looks so good, isn't it? That looks amazing from the distance. I think my only gripe about it is just a bit too dark at the bottom right here, since we use a lot of lightings at the top. Let me just get a bit closer so you guys know what I mean. At the top here, I use a lot of end rods to simulate that separation for the windows. And same goes for the top one right here. But we don't have that at the bottom, which makes it a tiny bit darker, which is kind of bothering me. Overall, I like that it gives a gradient a bit where it's darker, slightly lighter, and it goes lightest at the top, which is really cool. But maybe I should hide a bit of glow lichens around so it doesn't get too dark at the bottom. I don't know if it really affects anything in the morning. Maybe just hiding it around the corners like here probably could do some good to this build. This building right here took me quite a while to plan because obviously I don't want it to overshadow the castle that's going to be in the middle of the base right there. But also I don't want it to be too short where it just kind of looks off in comparison to the building there. So there's like a balancing act that I need to figure out while I was building it. And it wasn't easy, definitely wasn't easy. But I like the challenge. It's really something that I've never done before at this scale, obviously. I don't think it affects anything in the daylight. But yeah, the building is pretty much done. All that we need to do is to carve up that opening right there so you can build a platform for the bridge that'll eventually connect to the island, to the mountain, I mean. And I do want to show you guys a bit on the layout of the base. If I can get up here. Okay. So, we have this massive space right here that's going to be pretty much empty for a while until I figure out the main base. And I'm trying to figure out how to fill in the spaces here. And I will love your guys' suggestion with this one right here. If you guys have any good suggestion for what I can build here, that'll be amazing. Before we continue building this tower right here and building a portal inside it, I do want to contribute for the community and build a part of the shopping district. So let's just do that real quick. So we have a test server to test out our builds and to plan out the whole server basically. Someone built like a graveyard somewhere around here and I'd like to build that right now to help out with the overall shopping district. There's no good way of saying this, but I'm broke basically, right? I have no materials to build this project. Luckily, one of the members allowed me to raid their storage and use their materials for this build. So let's go there right now and take everything we need for this project. Alright, I don't think he has everything that we need, but this is what I found so far. So we're just gonna go back and start building it. Oh, let me fix that. While I'm here, I want to show you guys how crazy his base is. It's so insane. I really love what he's doing right here. You can see there's a lot of texture, a lot of patterns, but everything works really well together. I like how everything's kind of like overgrown and old. And he has this black bell tower, but it works. Yeah, I don't know how he balances all the colors so well. That's really cool. Very inspiring. Okay, let's go back now. Wow, it took so much longer than I expected. I thought it was going to be like a simple build where I'm going to do this cute little build, like take a break from my main project. But this took hours to complete. I think why it took so long is because it has so much different blocks and variety. So I have to like keep on grabbing new stuff. And yeah, it wasn't easy at all. But yeah, it's a really small and cool build. It really adds character to the shopping district. So 3 members of Nodenium made it. It was Civ, Moss, and Joey. They all did this amazing build right here. So the plan is to put pets that died and put them in a grave around here to commemorate them. And also, we updated to 1.21.8 while I was building this. because it took so long. And people are trying to get the dried gas and everything. But yeah, it's really cool. I really like the street that they did here and this gravesite that I think eventually they want to connect it to one of the stores. There's like a pathway down here. That's really cool. But enough of that. We're gonna go back and build the portal to our base. You know what's funny? When you're watching a video, you wouldn't think that an interior like this would take hours. You would think that this whole building would take way longer of a time to complete, right? But in reality, when you're doing this, the details inside of a building like this, it takes a tremendous amount of time. I'm not saying that it took as much time as I did the whole building, but it did take a significant amount of time than I was expecting. But yeah, here's the final interior. I'm really happy with how everything looked and turned out. We just have to do tiny bit of detailing here. We have to light up the candles right here. And these ones right here. The ones on the table. Oh. And we gotta turn on our portal. There we go. It's looking super good. But yeah, I just want to explain what my thought process behind this interior. As you guys know, I'm really heavily inspired by Dark Souls, Elden Ring, and all the Souls series. And I try to replicate that, where it's basically like a medieval interior, but kind of heightened by the fantasy style of everything. But yeah, it's kind of like dark and gloomy, not a lot of lighting, but that's done on purpose, right? So it's a bit more cinematic in a way. And I did texture the floor a lot. I put a lot of different woods here to give it that aged look, but also mix in a bit of like stone, mossy cobblestone. And as you can see here, I put down like plants dripping down, making a puddle in the floor, and rots the wood around it, but also exposes the stone underneath the flooring. Basically is what I'm trying to replicate here. But yeah, this is gonna be the main entrance towards the castle. So I can already imagine it, how cool it would be, like using this framing right here to help emphasize the castle at the front. It's gonna look super good. And I didn't change much on the front side of it. I just gave it a bit more pronounced shape that it's an entrance. But other than that, I try to keep the original shape. But I don't know if I'm gonna keep that in the future, but that's what I'm trying to go for now. I'll think more about the outside shape once I'm doing the bridge. But yeah, you can see these chains right here. I'm trying to simulate like a gate that you can draw down. It's really hard to replicate it on such a small scale, but I think it gives that illusion from a distance, so that's pretty cool. And I put some gargoyle at the top right here. I don't know if they look like gargoyles, but they add to the overall build, so I'm keeping them for now. This is the ladder right here, just to give the interior more depth and make it seem more believable. That, you know, use this ladder to take the books from the bookcase. Yeah, that's about it from the interior right here. I'm super stoked with this. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the tower right here. Do you like it? Do you think it's good? I love hearing your feedback, so let me know what you think about this. And if you have any suggestions on what I should do with the rest of the area, that would be super helpful. For now, we're going to end the episode right here. And on the next episode, we're going to start building the bridge connecting to the main castle. It's going to be super exciting. A lot of work, a lot of materials gathering again. But it's going to pay off super well. I'm super excited about this project. This is probably the most inspired I've been building in Minecraft. I really like this style. I really gravitate towards this dark aesthetic, medieval looking fantasy. I appreciate you guys' support, and I'll see you in the next one.